Hi, this is Uncle Bill again, and I thought today, for fun, we would take a look at some Fallout 3, some Fallout New Vegas, and compare what we did in the latest Fallout 4. Right now, I'm firing up the old Xbox 360 one last time to take a look at some of the save games that I generated in consoles past. Uh, I don't know how long that generation is going to be around, actually. The Xbox Fats that I used to like to buy, they don't seem to last very long. So I'm on my last one that still has the warranty sticker on it, and it has all my save games. So I figured I'd better get it out and take a look. So interesting thing, Fallout 3 came out in 2008. Just looking through some of my stats here, I know just captivating internet fodder. Uh, when we came into the video, I was wearing T-51 armor, and one of the things I noticed was that really weird sort of look of the suit on you. It sort of looks like you're wearing a pants of armor. They don't really look like they're armor pieces. They look like they're made out of material. I didn't realize that in the game. It was the coolest thing ever back in 2008. But now when I compare like the T-51B armor and the Fallout 4 to the armor in Fallout 3, it looks a little better. I guess, yeah. Surprise, surprise. So some interesting things. Made it to level 30 in Fallout 3, 600 hit points, AP 108. I topped out all of the categories of special, which didn't happen in later games. In New Vegas, didn't even get close to that, and only managed to top out a couple things in Fallout 4. And I also got the XP max. Here we're looking at some of the other stats. Of course, I got all the bobbleheads. That was very important. I was visited by a mysterious stranger 14 times. In Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, loved the mysterious stranger visits. Not so much in. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. In Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, loved the mysterious stranger visits. Not so much in Fallout 4. Uh, Killed 2,121 creatures. Uh, I was very good, a messiah, if the screen is to be believed. Uh, but I also killed 1,107 people, which doesn't seem like, that would be something you would do. Now I'm actually just kind of going through all the saves. You can see I spent about 282 hours playing this game, which is not true because that doesn't count all of the weekends that were lost because you go through a mission and then at the end you decide, oh, I really hated that outcome. So I'm going to go back 6 hours, load it again, and go through it all again. And I'm going to do that 3 times because there are 4 outcomes. They all suck, but I have to figure out which one sucks the least. So yeah, no, way more than 282 hours. Visited 220 locations, 56 quests, which actually overall for the series was the lowest number, and had over 200,000 bottle caps in my inventory by the end. Now we've transitioned to Fallout New Vegas. There's one of my favorite companions there, Veronica. I loved talking to Veronica. Wish she could have been sort of like the romantic companion you can have in the Fallout 4s, but it was never meant to be. As you can see, my character, once again, sporting the T-51B armor and is over encumbered. I believe that is the tribe I joined when I started playing Fallout, the over encumbered tribe, because I always have to creep back to my shack with my pockets filled with whatever junk I can find laying around. Um, I'm also by the splashy color, sporting the pimp boy, which I'm sure would have got me beaten up if I were really in the wasteland. Something else earlier when the armor was prominently displayed, I really get a kick out of that little handle on the back of the armor, which in Fallout 4 turned out to be the thing that you needed to turn to get into the armor. On the armor suit you see in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, it looks like an Oreo cookie sitting back there. Really doesn't really, stand out at all, but it turns out to be this huge sort of very important thing in Fallout 4. So, one of my favorite traits in both Fallout 3 and New Vegas was the Wild Wasteland perk. Uh, some other things about New Vegas. Really hated item repair. Glad to see we got rid of that in Fallout 4. Really hated Caravan. If you watch my stats coming up, you can see I played one game of Caravan and lost. So not a huge fan. There's Wild Wasteland. Love that. Don't know what happened to that. Would like to see that in Fallout 4. The only other bad thing about New Vegas was that the continuous load screens to go through like Freeside into the Vegas Strip would take like 15 minutes, and I was always trekking back and forth. Okay, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it felt like that forever. I watched that loading screen a lot. So in Vegas, I made it up to level 35, HP 410, AP 83. So interesting there. Less hit points than the Fallout 3, 410 versus 600, and less AP, 83 versus 108, but a higher overall level. In terms of special abilities, I only seem to get into the 7 and 8s, whereas in Fallout 3, pretty much had everything maxed out. And also the skills, I only managed to get into the 70-80 range for most skills, whereas in Fallout 3, I managed to actually max a lot of those out. So what else we have going on here? So 10 mysterious stranger visits. They didn't have bobbleheads in Fallout New Vegas. So all you could do is collect snow globes, which were worth a lot of caps. And I think I have all of those sitting someplace where I never go visit. So I did get all of those. I had 786 creature kills. Only killed 221 people. Amazingly enough, I visited 157 locations, so that was down from Fallout 3, where it was 220, and 76 quests, and that was up. You get about 1/3 more quests, or I should say, only 56 in the original. And I only had about 180 hours into playing New Vegas. I think of the 3 games, I really liked them all, but there was something about New Vegas that really grabbed me, even though it was a little buggy. I do recall that there was one vault filled with raiders that if I'd go to the 3rd level of that vault, all of a sudden I couldn't save my games anymore. Or I could save, but I couldn't load. So you keep playing beyond that checkpoint, and then you could never reload the game. So you'd always have to load back to a time before you'd gone to that 3rd level of that particular vault. Only made it up to 81,000 caps in New Vegas. Seemed to spend a little bit more money there than I did in Fallout 3. In Fallout 3, man, I crafted weapons and sold stuff and brought all my trash back. And here we're talking to Veronica, one of my absolute favorite people. Oh, and here we are transitioning to Fallout 4. Now, New Vegas came out in 2010. Fallout 4 came out in 2015. Here I am sporting some X1 power armor, and this is one of my favorite places in the game. This is where I basically created this huge field of power armor everywhere after I learned how to get it off of raiders and the Brotherhood. I would just shoot them in the power core and the fusion core, and then bring them back there. There's Bluey, one of my crafted robots after the expansion. Bluey's actually a callback to the original Halo game. My nephew was probably 7 or 8 at the time that we were playing the original Halo, and we could never remember the actual name of the little installation monitor that followed us around and irritated us throughout the game, so we just called him Bluey. Here's Curie, all-time favorite companion. I think because I had to work so hard to get her to go out with me, I guess. Oh, now we're getting lag. So yeah, I decided to check out the PS4 remote play, and I like it. It's just that it's not terribly smart. So every now and then we'll see a bad streaming experience as I'm playing through the game, because for some reason we still haven't figured this stuff out. Occasionally it'll decide, oh, I see Bill is playing remotely right now, but I really think it's time to download the Witcher updates. So I'm going to get those Witcher updates, and his remote stream, that's going to be messed up for a little bit. But that's okay, because even though he's only played The Witcher for about 10 minutes, I'm going to make sure that that game is up to date and I can start downloading Fallout updates while he's playing The Witcher next time. So, what else have we got going on here? Just taking a look at some of my stats in Fallout 4, made it to level 93. Really like the idea that you continue leveling. Always hated that sort of ceiling where in the past games you get to a certain point and even though you were generating XP, it was just lost. So an expansion would come out, and even though you'd been playing it for hundreds of hours, your character hadn't developed beyond that. And then you'd get that expansion, and then all of a sudden, oh, okay, now it counts. So 112 hit points in this game, so up quite a bit. New Vegas had 410. The original Fallout had 600. AP 145. Vegas 83. The original Fallout 108. And my special, once again in the 7s and 8s, but also there was the occasional 11 and 13. 9 mysterious stranger visits. The mysterious stranger, really irritating in this game. One of my favorite things from Fallout and Fallout New Vegas. But he would always pop up when I was trying to get power armor off of Brotherhood of Steel or Raider. And then he would kill them, and I'd lose the power armor for him, so I'd have to reload. So even though it says I've been visited 9 times, it was way more than that. Got all 20 bobbleheads, killed 2,135 creatures, 1,977 people. You just saw that I was the something of Arcadia on there just a second ago. Keeper of Arcadia, Savior of Arcadia, I forget. I thought it was kind of amusing. No spoilers here, but as a part of that story, you get a choice. You could kill one guy. Well, you look at your stats. I killed 1,900 guys, and one of the most powerful stories in the game is like, you really think you should kill that one guy that you really don't like? Yeah, no. Just forget about those other 1,900 people you slaughtered. Visited 332 locations. Completed 224 quests. And significantly, a lot more time spent in this game. Around 500 hours, I think. That's ridiculous. I'm going to round off at 500 because, I don't want my wife to yell at me. What else was going on here? As we go through some of these, do we really need the dancing animations with the music and little sound effects? Is that really necessary? Really missed the Wild Wasteland. That was not an option as a level up here. As you can see, I'm carrying like 6 level ups with me for some reason that it's not difficult to explain. At some point, you just don't know where to put the points, and you sort of wait until you get the next mission or objective that, oh, well, this could rely on this, and this could make it easier, so you just sink the points into that. So, I kind of think of those as in the bank. Only managed to carry about 78,000 caps in this one, so that's down a little bit from the 81,000 in New Vegas and the 200,000 in the original Fallout 3. But if you take a look, I bought a lot of ammo when the merchants couldn't sell me caps or give me caps for the junk I fastidiously picked up and carried back over encumbered from the Wasteland. I would just buy ammo and power cores. And man, did I buy a lot of fusion cores. I've used 149, and I have, according to the screen, over 99 now. And I have I made the mistake of putting money into the perk for using power cores as grenades. And so this is terrible. Whenever I get into a situation where I don't have a great grenade equipped, and I panic, and I push the wrong bumper, my power armor poops out a grenade and destroys everything in the area. So if you're being attacked by like 10 ghouls, and you panic, and a grenade falls out of the back of you and it explodes, that's kind of cool. But I mean, if you're just trying to figure out how to open a door at one of the settlements, and you kill everybody in the settlement because you've just pooped out a grenade, that's bad. So probably shouldn't have gotten that perk. So, uh, items stolen, 83. Interestingly enough, uh, that is because I looted power armor. And when you take power armor from the Brotherhood of Steel or from Raiders, you are in fact stealing it, unless you get your companion to pick it up. So it doesn't count as stolen then. So I should have done that more. I didn't realize that until later in the game. And I still have no idea how it counted those 61 murders because honestly, I only killed things that deserve it. And I promise, really, only things that deserve it. So that was me going through all of my stats from about 900 hours of gameplay over the last 8 years or so. Thank you for joining.